Why kindness makes people disrespect you. Picture this. You finally get one free evening after weeks of chaos. Instead of resting, you give it away to help a friend move. You haul boxes up 3 flights of stairs, sweat dripping, muscles burning. At the end of the night, they glance up from their phone, toss you a half-hearted "thanks," and go right back to texting someone else, someone who never lifts a finger to help. Feels backwards, doesn't it? The more you give, the less people seem to care. The kinder you are, the less they respect you. And somehow, you start to notice a pattern. Every time you bend over backwards, people treat it like it's normal. Like your generosity isn't a gift, it's just expected. You start asking yourself, why does being nice make me feel invisible? Why does my kindness invite disrespect? That's what we're digging into today, because kindness itself isn't the problem. Unguarded kindness is. Without limits, kindness turns into a silent message. I don't value myself enough to say no. And people pick up on that more than you realize. But there's a way out. A Stoic way. By the end of this video, you'll understand why unchecked kindness backfires, and you'll know how to keep your heart open without losing your spine. So stay with me, this might just change the way you see generosity forever. The generous man who lost his voice. Meet Marcus. He was the guy everyone called first. Need a lift at 2 a.m. He'd grab his car keys before you finished the sentence. Sofa stuck in a stairwell? He'd show up with bungee cords, ibuprofen, and a smile. Last-minute project at work? Marcus would stay until midnight patching it together. For 5 years, he lived like this, always available, always reliable, always saying yes. And yet, something strange started happening. At work, when he pitched an idea, the room went quiet, like he hadn't spoken at all. At Sunday dinner, his mom asked his teenage cousin for stock tips, even though Marcus was the one quietly paying half the mortgage. One night, after hauling a sectional couch up 3 flights of stairs, Marcus twisted his ankle. He sat on the floor, icing it, and muttered to himself, "Why does giving feel like disappearing?" That question hit him harder than the pain. On his nightstand sat a dog-eared copy of Seneca. As he flipped it open, one line jumped out. "No one respects the water that runs downhill." It hit him like a lightning bolt. The Stoics weren't against kindness, they were against kindness that forgets its source. Marcus had become an endless river. Everyone drank from it, but no one respected the spring. He had made himself so constantly available, so endlessly giving, that his presence no longer carried weight. And once he saw it, he couldn't unsee it. That night, Marcus realized what so many of us eventually discover. Unchecked kindness isn't love, it's erosion. Give without boundaries long enough, and you don't just lose your time, you lose your voice. 3 Stoic truths that explain the disrespect. The Stoics never said, "Don't be kind." They said, "Be wise about your kindness." Because when kindness has no guardrails, it starts sending signals you don't even realize. Here are 3 truths that explain why people begin to disrespect you when you give too much. Truth 1. People ignore what's handed out like flyers. Think about the last time you were walking downtown and someone shoved a flyer in your hand. Did you treasure it? Probably not, because anything given away too easily loses its weight. Marcus fell into this trap. He answered emails within 60 seconds. He said yes to every weekend favor. Before long, people didn't even say thank you. They just expected it. His time became an all-you-can-eat buffet, and no one respects what feels unlimited. Scarcity breeds respect. Abundance without boundaries breeds contempt. Truth 2. Overgiving screams insecurity. Epictetus taught, "It's not events, but our judgments about them that disturb us." And sometimes, Our overgiving is just judgment in disguise. Underneath every favor, every quick yes, hides a whisper, "Please like me, please approve of me." And people can smell it. They start asking themselves, if she can't say no to a coffee at 6 a.m., what else can't she refuse? The answer, in their eyes, becomes pretty much anything. And with every yes, your authority leaks away. Truth 3. No boundaries, no self-respect. Marcus finally admitted something painful. He feared being called selfish more than he feared burnout, so he gave and gave and gave until he was empty. But here's what the Stoics knew. Your will, your ability to choose, is the only thing that's truly yours. Hand that over, and you're basically announcing to the world, "I don't vote for myself." 1. And Aurelius. And if you don't vote for yourself, others will echo the tally. They'll treat you exactly the way you treat yourself. The Stoics saw it clearly. Unchecked kindness isn't noble, it's self-erasure. Respect doesn't disappear because people are cruel. It disappears because you've trained them, day by day, to ignore your worth. The turning point. Marcus decided to run an experiment. Nothing drastic, no dramatic speeches, just a few quiet changes. First, he stopped replying to emails at midnight. He let them wait until morning. Second, when his sister asked if he could babysit every weekend, he calmly said, "I can't take that on." Third, he gave himself permission to pause before saying yes to anything. The pushback was immediate. His co-worker muttered, "Wow, guess you're too important now." His sister sighed, "Must be nice to have all that free time for yourself." And, inside, Marcus felt the sting. After years of being the reliable one, saying no felt like betrayal. But here's what happened next. 3 weeks later, the same co-worker started planning projects earlier because he realized Marcus wasn't going to bail him out at the last second. His sister found a paid sitter she actually liked, and suddenly weekends weren't built on resentment anymore. And at work, when Marcus spoke up in a meeting, people finally turned to listen. Same guy, same heart, different signal. Marcus hadn't stopped being generous. He had simply put a dam on the river, not to dry it up, but to guide the flow. His time and energy became something intentional instead of automatic. And for the first time in years, people saw the value of what he gave, because it was no longer endless, invisible, or free on demand. The turning point wasn't in becoming less kind. It was in pairing kindness with boundaries. That single shift transformed how others treated him and how he treated himself. 5 Stoic practices that command respect without killing kindness. Kindness without boundaries invites disrespect, but kindness paired with Stoic discipline commands respect. Here are 5 practices, straightforward, repeatable, and powerful, that help you stay generous without becoming invisible. Practice 1. The hesitation rule. When someone asks for your time, your help, or your energy, pause. Take one full breath. Inhale, exhale. That pause is subtle, but it's a quiet announcement. My schedule has a bouncer. Emergencies are far rarer than people pretend, and this beat gives you space to see if the request fits your values, or if it's just draining you. Over time, this hesitation becomes a habit, and people notice. They realize you're not a vending machine of yes, you're a person whose time has weight. Practice 2. The currency question. Before saying yes, ask yourself, what am I trading away? Maybe it's an hour of sleep. Maybe it's your workout. Maybe it's the chapter of a book you've been meaning to finish. When you see the trade-off clearly, your yes becomes intentional instead of reflexive. And here's the twist. Intentional yeses carry more weight. People sense that you chose, not caved. Practice 3. The appreciation filter. Keep a mental ledger. Who says thank you? Who remembers your effort? Who treats your kindness like oxygen necessary but invisible? Tilt your generosity toward the grateful crowd. You're not punishing anyone, you're investing in fertile soil instead of throwing seeds on concrete. Even Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting energy where it will be trampled. The Stoics weren't cold, they were practical gardeners of their time and love. Practice 4. The broken record response. When boundary pushers demand an explanation, resist the urge to write a novel. Stick to one calm line. I can't take that on right now. Repeat it, word for word, as often as needed. No drama, no excuses. Repetition sounds like certainty, and certainty is kryptonite to manipulation. Practice 5. The self-kindness deposit. Once a week, schedule something just for you. A sunrise walk, a slow breakfast, an afternoon nap. It doesn't matter what matters is it's yours. Because when you treat yourself as worthy of your own time, the outer world takes the cue. People reflect the respect you show yourself. These 5 practices don't kill kindness, they refine it. They turn your river into a clear lake with sturdy gates, and when the gates open, people notice. They value your generosity because it's no longer endless background noise, it's a choice. Common traps and how to avoid them. Even after you set boundaries, it's easy to fall into traps that undo your progress. The Stoics warned against extremes, too much indulgence or too much withdrawal. Let's break down the 3 most common pitfalls of practicing guarded kindness and how to avoid them. Trap 1. The guilt avalanche. The moment you say no, your brain often screams, "You're so selfish." That voice is old conditioning. Years of equating kindness with worthiness. The Stoic move. Treat that thought like a weather report. You notice it, it's raining guilt, but you don't cancel your day because of the forecast. You keep walking. Seneca reminded us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. The guilt feels huge, but it's not truth. Let it pass like a cloud. Trap 2. The mic drop boundary. When you finally get fed up, it's tempting to snap. Because I said so. It feels strong, but it sounds insecure. The better move is calm neutrality. I can't take that on right now. Simple, firm, neutral. You're not performing strength, you're embodying it. Remember, Stoicism isn't about drama, it's about steadiness. Trap 3. The overcorrection. Some people swing from one extreme to the other, from people-pleaser to ice-cold fortress. Suddenly, kindness disappears, replaced by emotional lockdown. But that's not Stoicism, that's fear in armor. Real Stoicism is balance. You stay warm, generous, and approachable, just not at the cost of your dignity. Think of it like a fireplace. The fire gives heat and light, but the stone hearth keeps it contained. Without the hearth, fire burns down the house. With it, fire becomes life-giving. These traps are easy to fall into, but easy to avoid when you see them coming. Watch for the guilt avalanche, the mic drop performance, and the overcorrection. Each one is just another test of balance, another chance to practice calm strength. The payoff. 6 months after Marcus started practicing these Stoic boundaries, everything looked different. Same family, same co-workers, same circle of friends, but the way they treated him had shifted. At work, his teammates began asking for his input first. His time was no longer assumed, it was requested. At home, his sister texted instead of dropping kids off unannounced. Even his mom, who used to bypass him for advice, now proudly told relatives. Marcus finally found his backbone. And here's the twist, Marcus didn't feel colder. He didn't feel like he'd lost kindness. He actually felt more generous than ever. Why? Because every yes he gave now carried weight. It wasn't automatic. It wasn't drained from obligation. It was chosen. And chosen generosity feels different. When Marcus said yes, people knew it mattered. The river hadn't dried up. It had transformed into a clear lake with sturdy gates. And each drop that flowed out was noticed, appreciated, and restorative, not draining. The payoff of Stoic kindness isn't that people stop asking. It's that when they do ask, they bring respect with them. They show gratitude. They plan ahead. They recognize the value of your time and energy. And maybe the biggest payoff, Marcus respected himself again. He no longer equated self-worth with self-sacrifice. He realized what the Stoics taught long ago. True generosity flows best when it comes from strength, not from fear. Now it's your turn. Don't just nod along, test this in the real world today. Start with the hesitation rule. The very next time someone asks for your help, don't blurt out, "Sure," on reflex. Take one full breath, inhale, exhale, and then answer. Notice what happens. Do they push back? Do they pause? Do they respect the space you just claimed? Then come back here and tell me your story in the comments. What shifted when you paused? Did you feel guilt, relief, resistance? I read every single one, and your experience might be the exact encouragement someone else needs. And if this hit home, if you're tired of kindness being mistaken for weakness, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Because every week, I share Stoic tools and real-life experiments like this, practical steps you can actually live, not just quote. Kindness is power, but only if you guard it. So test it, share it, and pass it on. Conclusion. Kindness isn't the problem. The world desperately needs more of it. The problem is unguarded kindness, the kind that pours endlessly until it erodes your own voice, your own dignity, your own worth. Respect isn't earned by cruelty. It isn't hoarded by selfish people. Respect shows up when your generosity is paired with unmistakable self-respect. So keep giving, keep helping, keep opening your heart, but do it on purpose. Say yes because it aligns with your values, not because you're afraid of being called selfish. Say no with calm certainty, not with guilt. Your time, your love, your energy, they're not confetti to scatter. They're currency, precious, powerful, limited. When you guard them with boundaries, the right people will notice. They'll come through your gates with gratitude instead of entitlement. And here's the beautiful irony. The moment you respect yourself, your kindness becomes even more powerful. Every yes becomes a gift that lands with weight. Every gesture shines brighter because it's not drowned in endless, invisible giving. So let your kindness flow, but keep your fortress intact. Because the people who matter most won't just drink from your river, they'll thank the source. And that's how kindness, guided by wisdom, becomes unbreakable strength.